Welcome to the final of the INTERPLAY competition. Urban Elegance, which you can see here, is Joe Joseph's final kinetic object. What I'll do is just give a little bit of context to start with about where Urban Elegance came from. 2023 we launched a competition, that's the Design Education Trust. And the competition had two phases. The first phase had entries for a prize of £1,000, and 8 people got through that, and the 1,000 was to develop their proposals. Phase 2 was an exhibition at the Royal Society of Sculptors, where the 8 were exhibiting, along with 6 commendation awards. And one of those 8 was announced in December 2023. And that was Joe Joseph with Holly as co-designer. Taking £8,000 to create a real kinetic sculpture that demonstrated both utility and culture. And that was the aim, to show that utilitarian things like pedestrian crossings don't have to be boring, but they can be cultural, aesthetic and kinesthetic. So it's a challenging project, a prototype, and we're hoping Joseph will be able to take it places and build it in due course in some way. So I'd like to introduce Joseph Jones now to give his presentation.
So hello, as Alec so kind of introduced me, my name is Joe. Welcome to the Urban Elegance exhibition. So Urban Elegance is motion sculpture which challenge purely utilitarian design of public infrastructure. The piece takes pedestrian crossings and infuses them with the mesmerizing beauty of caldera mobiles and with elegant clockwork motion of four-wheel planetariums, with the intention of transforming mundane crossings into captivating public art installations. Alec has asked me to take you through the design journey, the build process of the piece, and explain how it works, and also give you a few of my thoughts on future prospects. So, the design journey started all the way back in May of last year. I was studying in Tokyo, one term, along with my classmate Holly Souza-Newman, who worked on the initial concept with me. During our time there, we were amazed by the neon lights and huge crowds in Tokyo. We visited Shibuya Crossing, which is the most traversed crossing in the whole world, to 3,000 people crossing every 2 minutes. There's a real sense of anticipation for how to form a crossing view, as we really want to encapsulate that feeling of anticipation within our design through motion and aesthetics. We were also very inspired by the original mobiles by Caldera. The way they balance so precisely and the way their motion is enhanced through the use of simple yet effective shapes, and the colours to create an enchanting elegance that really enhances any space in grid. From these initial inspirations, we decided to create something that married the two concepts into one coherent design, into something that combined function, timed motion with elegance and spectacle of the mobile. Hence, the idea to create the mobile traffic light was born. Here you can see the initial storyboard of the idea, and this was our submission for the first round of the INTERPLAY competition, as I said. So the next burning question was how to actually make this idea work, how to transform the caldera mobiles, which only passively move, and which isn't exactly helpful when you're trying to make a pedestrian crossing with all the timings involved. So the solution came in the form of orrery planetariums. These scale models of our solar system use complex clockwork gearing in order to accurately simulate the motion of the planets around the sun. And I think these models have beauty all their own. So the slow precession of the planets around the sun has actually been incorporated into the final design, as well as a complex clockwork gearing, which is used to control the relative motion of the arms, albeit at a significantly larger scale than the traditional planetary orreries. Here you can see how I designed the gearbox itself, and to allow the arms to rotate independent to one another at different rates and in different directions. I also fleshed out the design of the rest of the piece and created an engineering assembly drawing that you can see here to go along with them. Finally, I animated the design to demonstrate the motion of the arms and explain how pedestrians would cross along with it. which I'll come back to a little later with a live demonstration. So, back in December, myself and Holly presented this fleshed-out idea during the INTERPLAY symposium, and despite some steep competition from the other entrants who all had amazing designs and a really great experience to see them all and chat with like-minded creative people, we were awarded a major award for the INTERPLAY competition to make this idea into a reality. Due to some unforeseen circumstances, Holly decided to step back from the project at this time, and so I completed the last leg of the journey over. First, I researched more into the historic history of traffic signals, and this, which is actually the very first traffic signal ever, which was outside of Huddersfield Parliament in the 1800s. This was manually operated, and I took much of the design, much of the silhouette for the design in the design of the gearbox assembly housing. When I saw them, I knew I had to incorporate it into the design, so I used it as a gearbox assembly housing. And I also developed the idea further to sit down to make the assembly more simple, as well as the visuals less cluttered. This also involved redoing all of the gear calculations and the engineering drawings to reflect this new design. The manufacturing itself took place on 4 different locations. First, the Imperial Backspace, which I used the water jet cutter to manufacture plates within the gearbox. The mechanical engineering workshop just across the road at Imperial, where I manufactured the shafts and adjusted the gears to fit onto them. The metal workshop on the RCA campus, where I bent the arms into shape. And finally, my living room, where I did everything else. I think the most surprising thing about this whole project is that my flatmates still talk to me at the end of it. So how does everything actually work? So everything is centrally controlled by an Arduino microcontroller, which is situated in the very top of the housing you can see here. This is connected to 2 servo motors, which are controlled to produce precise angular rotation of the arms. Along with the gearbox, this produces the force that you see to turn the arms at 2 precise timings required. The arms themselves, the lights at the end of them, are actually controlled by radio transceivers to allow for precise signals to be sent at correct times, so that the motion of the arms coincides with the switching on and switching off of the lights. Now, if we direct you all to the piece while I duck behind the stage curtain here, I'll give you a live demo. So, as you can see, the external arms of the device, of the sculpture, rotate into place to form the green walk figure. Once these 2 pieces come together, it signals for the pedestrians to cross. And also bursts into life the rest of the arms, so that in this way, pedestrians themselves become part of the sculpture because they are moving when the sculpture is at its most epic. As you can see, the arms light up in the correct order, so the red arm is, the red walk figure is illuminated when the outside arms are rotating, and when those finally come together, they'll switch to the green arms, which will signal for the pedestrians to cross. Like so. So I've focused upon the sort of multiple different places that the inspiration came from for this piece, from the shapes of the Calder mobiles to the sort of central sun that forms the arms will rotate around from the transparent orreries. So in terms of the future prospects, there are a few design changes I would make if I were to try to do this in a real setting. So for one, reducing the gap between the 2 outside arms, and this would reduce the parallax effect and allow it to be viewed from a wide degree of angles. This should round in the centre so it can't sway in the breeze. And finally, I would also quite like to have the centre shapes illuminated. I think this would add an extra degree of beauty to it, especially in a night setting. Now, I know many people may balk the idea of this being used in a real setting, and I do understand the concerns, but I would also point out that when traffic lights were first introduced, they had to have a police officer alongside them as they to understand the new system. It took people a while to get used to that process. I think that this design would require a similar adjusting process. At the end of the day, it is intended to be quite a provocative and polarizing design to make people think and discuss the utilitarian design of public infrastructure like traffic lights, and hopefully envision a future where the everyday can be more engaging and delightful. Thank you. Any questions?